A lot of large companies are like these lions, right? They're lumbering, they have the territory. In the case of Cecil, he was a duopoly. There was another lion living in the game reserve with him. There were two old lions, they lost some battles. They got pushed away, pushed away, pushed away. They found their own little herd, very comfortable. And then they were attacked, right? So it was completely wrong, it was completely immoral. But that's what young entrepreneurial companies are doing to large companies, right? So I always remind people that you need to look and watch out for young entrepreneurial companies. So this is a new model of customer acquisition, which did not exist in the past, right? So when we were in the hotel business, when we open, yes, we do discount. We give you an opening offer, etc. But today, when you acquire customers, there is a completely new way of acquiring customers, and that's really by giving away money. And this is something that Elon Musk did at PayPal when he spent about $6 million to grow PayPal, and he gave out $20 credits and then reduced it to $10 and then reduced it to $5 until he's built the mass. Alex Kong, I don't know whether you know, who used to run Afufa here and now runs and owns the largest e-wallet company in Hong Kong, basically did the same thing, So you put in $90 and you get $100 credit. So these are new models of building businesses which come with digitization and come with technology. Western Union, you guys all know this, right? 1871 founded. And then the next two companies, 1940 and 1987. I think RIA was 1987. But then look what happened. Look what happened after, in the 2000s, right? Loads and loads and loads and loads of companies have come up. Merchant Trade has come up as well. Everybody recognized that the banks were too slow. You need 24/7. You need better rates. So a lot of opportunity for tech companies to come up. At the same time, some banks have responded, right? So CIMB, DBS Bank, I remember 4 or 5 years ago, if you want to do a money transfer from DBS Bank, you go in, you ask them for the rate, and then you say, can I have a better rate? Today, they don't want to see you. The rates on the web, the CIMB rate or the DBS rate in XE is hardly anything, right? So they've changed their business. CIMB has been innovative in allowing you to buy currency to try and take some business away from you guys so you can book currency. So there is lots and lots of innovation, and there's lots and lots of disruption. 20 years ago, people said it'll take 50 years. 10 years ago, people said it would take 30 years. 5 years ago, people said it would take 5 years. So the gaps are getting smaller and smaller and smaller, right? And so it's not so important to know when change is going to happen or when disruption is going to happen, but it's very, very critical for you to know that it is going to happen. And the sooner you're prepared, the better. Because you won't be able to predict when it's going to happen. And just as you can't predict currency markets, I see a lot of business plans and over the last 20, 30 years. And all I know that in the forecast that I'm presented, I know that 99.99% of the forecasts are wrong. We just don't know which direction they're wrong. And that's the same thing about trying to predict the future, right? You know it's going to happen, and you'd better be prepared. Otherwise, you end up like Kodak or Nokia. In the banking business, it now looks very structured, and I'd be interested to hear from Victor about what Alliance is doing. Everybody's got their little piece, and banks over the years have grown their business offering. The banks have grown their customer offering, and they've not been terribly good, or I would say competent at everything that they do. It's just that they became the place where people went, and then they added more and more services. So they're not optimized for the services that they've added. And now what's happened is that you have a whole bunch of new companies coming in all over the spectrum, right at the front, in the middle, at the back, customer acquisition, analytics, different transactions, Forex, money exchange, insurance. So, just as Tony took the airline business, I used to work with Tune Hotels, and as Tony took the airline business and basically broke it up into its components, that's what's going to happen with the banks, right? So the banks services are going to be broken up into little pieces, and lots of people are going to start to play. Now, the old incumbent companies, especially in the technology space, say you need a platform, and therefore, they will start to work with people. And we really don't know who the winner or the loser is going to be. So